Welcome to Brobench videos. In this video, we're going to go through apply formula capability in the SOQL data grid. So the apply formula capability or a set value using formula capability is used to update the values of a particular field based on a Brobench formula. So you have the full capability of using all the formulas and functions that is available to manipulate a data that you want. Okay, so to do that, let's go and query some data. I'm going to go here and select all the accounts. Okay. So then after that, so we have some data here. So let's see if I can select this particular account number and then choose edit. So we're going to go to the edit mode because that is available only when you're editing a data grid. So you can right click and say set. So we have a lot of other ways to set the values. For example, new value, you can just set to some value, whatever. And one of the option as part of that is a Brobench formula value. So when you click on that, it will bring up this particular dialog. So that dialog shows some text, how to enter and the link to a formula functions, so that you can click on it, and then that will bring up all the various formula functions that we have as part of formula engine. By the way, this is the same formula engine is used in other data set products like a real task, so you have full capability of the formula engine at your disposal. um, then you can start applying the function, start composing the formula. So when you, as you compose the formula, it will actually make changes and shows the preview. So remember, it shows as a preview. So this is not actually applying the changes to your data grid. And because it's a preview and it is going to show only about 100 or 200 records, as even if you have a lot of them. If you have select less than that, it shows all the record. But if you select more than that, then remember it shows only that. And moreover, it is not actually applying to the data grid, just showing the preview. So if you cancel, no changes will be made unless you click on apply formula once you're satisfied with the changes, how they look. Okay, so let's go and select, enter something. So we have an account number, and then we have some blank values here. Okay, some null values. So let's say if we can default the null values to some unknown value similar to what we have here. So we have a function first, the first not blank. So let's say I can give a account number, and then so if it is blank, use this text. So now we can see that. Okay, so we have this, wherever we have values, it didn't update them because they were already had values, but wherever they were null, it populated unknown because that is what we said, first not blank. So I mean specify this particular value. Okay, so if you go to the formula functions, so that particular function, the first not blank, is documented there. You can search for it, and then it shows how the function works. And as you, it shows a lot of examples, and you can actually try out these examples to get variations, as you learn that function and how that variation works. Okay, so this is a simple one. So now, for example, let's say we want to do first not blank, and then we also want to do the padding of the data with whatever the information that we padded. So let's say we want to pad only if it is a not blank. Otherwise, we want to pad for 5, 10 characters, for example. Okay, so let's say we want to pad start. Okay, so the value would be whatever the value that we gotten. So let's say we want to, so let's say we check this value. So if it starts with unknown. Okay, so we don't want to pad it, so we just want to use the value as is. But otherwise, we want to pad the information to 10 characters using 0 as a character. Okay, so let's go and take a look. So what it has done. So unknown. There's a typo here. That's why it is gotten. So if you minimize this, okay, and okay, so it should exclude those as well. Okay. So as you can see, it has quite expressive syntax and good number of formula support. So I can enter like that if we just want to format it. So what you have done that if the account number starts with unknown, then we are just defaulting to whatever the unknown is, but otherwise we are applying the padding of 10 characters. Okay, so this is a simple one. So let's go and apply the formula, this particular formula, and then now the change will be made to the data grid, and now the data grid will show that what change has been made. Okay, so keep in mind with any other update operations that you do as part of Brobench SOQL grid, changes are not saved immediately. It just staged and shows what change that you have made, and then finally you can click on save, and that is when all the changes will be made. And this actually gives a lot of benefit because, for example, you can review the changes are there, you can feel safe, to make the changes. um, and then you can apply multiple passes. Let's say now we have done the pass, I can select again, and then I can do the apply one more time. So now the changes, the baseline will be whatever the values that there are right now. For example, let's say I want to truncate start account number 5 characters. I want to truncate the start of the character and keep maximum 5 characters, or truncate end. Okay, so it will keep first 5 characters and then truncate the last. So if we go and apply, now this becomes this particular change. Okay, as you can see now, these two, okay, so they are there. If you go and make actually 5 change, say make one more change, so it will show that particular update. But you can also right click and say you can revert the change so that the change will go away. Okay. Let's go and try out some more examples. Okay, so we have a field here called the discount. Okay, let's see if we can populate the discount field with some value. So let's select these columns and select the value. Okay, so let's say I want to uh, select, we have an annual revenue. You can check. So we have a revenue and then discount. So I'm composing this particular formula. I'm saying the annual revenue is less than $1,000. I want to discount to 0.05%, okay, or 5%. Or if it is annual revenue is less than 10,000, 10%. Annual revenue is less than 100,000. That's the next category, 15%. Anything more than that, less than $1 million, 20%. Anything more than that, 25%. So we are bigger the customer, we are giving the bigger the discount. So you can apply this information, the formula, and you can see that it has calculated the new discount based on the annual revenue that you have here. Okay, so other way, if we can apply, for example, let's say based on a state. For example, we have a state. Okay, so billing state CANYTX, Florida, California, and all that. So we were saying that if we are using a map value function, so this is a very interesting function that actually takes an array of values and then it puts one by one. Okay, so it takes the input, that's a field that you are trying to map, and then mapping is an array, and then the default value finally. So we are saying that if it is a California, the discount is 10%. If it is Texas, it is 20%. Everything else is 30, for example. So we're saying California, we applied 10%. If it is Texas, we have said 20%. Everything else is 30. Okay, so it applied that particular discount. So you get an idea, right? So how to use this set Brobench formula value. So it is very highly capable. We have a beautiful formula engine that works within the security confines of a Chrome extension, and the formula evaluation happens locally. So your data is not sent outside of this computer. It is 100% secure as with anything else in the Brobench. So you can feel safe, and with the stage values, so you can be confident of the values they're going to be saved and before you actually save them. Okay, So now let's say I'm happy with this particular discount. I'm gonna go apply. And even though we had 28 records because we selected only these many records, so it applied the changes to only those. If you select two records, it's going to apply changes to that record. But if you want to apply for the whole column, you can actually, we have an option. You can go to the set, you can set selected columns, right? And then say Brobench formula value. Now you can enter that particular formula, and then it will apply. It'll show only this, the selected records, but when you apply, it is going to apply for a whole column. Okay, you can see that now it is calculated. Okay, so if you go back and check the billing city, okay, and the discount, so you can see that it is California, San Francisco billing state. Okay, so it is California 10%, and then we set Texas 20%, and then everything else is 30. Okay, which is Texas and everything else 30. Okay, so the data looks good. Now I can go ahead and save the data. Okay, so keep in mind we do have a read-only protection for your data if you enable at a connection level. So if you're dealing with a controlled environment like a UAT or a production, we advise you to enable read-only connection. Go through the help. We have a lot of examples how to enable that. But when you do that, if you try to save, it will warn you, and then hey, I mean it'll error out. We have a read-only connection unless you explicitly disable, and then it'll make the changes. So now let's go and save these changes. Okay, so changes are saved, and then now my discount looks good, and then as well as my account number. Okay, so let's go back to the account number. Okay, so if we go back here and run one more time, okay, search for account number. So I have the account number with the unknown values. That looks good as well. Okay, so this is apply in the SOQL Datagrid set to Brobench value, Brobench formula value, or apply formula value. Okay. So and let us know what else we can do here to help you get your data done right.